Hello and welcome back, Box1 here, and today we're going to be looking at a very cool LEGO Creator set. Now this can build three very cool builds. First of all, a dragon, then a sea monster, and finally a phoenix. It is meant to be compatible with medieval building sets, LEGO sets, such as some castle, and you can see right there, castle in the background. It's very cool. Now we're going to be looking at all three here, but as you can see, if the glare doesn't kill it, models cannot be built simultaneously. We are going to start with this guy, which is a very nice dragon. We are going to move on to the sea monster, and finally, the phoenix. I guess we should start now with the dragon. The coolest one, I think, and the biggest one. It uses all the pieces in the set, not the other. The other ones don't use all the pieces. But this is the one that you build first. It is the one that comes in the numbered bags, at least. It's pretty cool. And it's actually made up of a bunch of modular parts. I shouldn't say modular. They just are built separately and then all stuck together to make a very cool dragon. And we can see that if we actually just push down his wings so we can get a better look at him. With his body even, it's one big piece. Then we have his big tail, which is also pretty nice. As you can see, attached with ball joints. The only unfortunate thing is that they are in that light bluish gray, dark bluish gray color, which kind of detracts from the look overall, but yeah, that you see that in all creator sets. They don't like replacing these parts with correctly colored versions, such as light green or just the normal green there, unfortunately. But you can see they use the same ball joints in the legs and a very cool leg design with this look here, kind of with the knee going over here and the ankle joint. I think that's a very cool design for a dragon. And this is just mirrored on the other side. The one thing I'll say is in my particular copy, now I know this is very rare, as you can see I don't have a shield on the back. It was actually missing a piece. The second time that's ever happened to me with a LEGO set, and I've had too many LEGO sets, we'll say. And there's no such thing as too much LEGO, but we'll pretend it is. That's the second time that's ever happened. Ordered it off Lego.com using the missing part thing. It'll come sometime soon, but maybe even by the time this video's done being recorded, because we put it in a while ago, and it takes a week or so. But anyway, the wings are very cool technique-wise. They have these big pieces that are used very well here, and these wings are actually on these small little, not hinges, but they can actually move out, so you can maybe give it a larger wingspan or something, or you can make it a very tight wingspan. Say he's landed or something when he's like this, and then when he's flying, he's more open with his wings. But these are attached using these big rotatable joints, which can also go up and down. I don't think I've seen this part before. It may be new. It probably came out in a couple other sets that I just don't have, but I've personally never seen it before. Lifting up his wing, you can see his little arm underneath. It is very small, but it is existent. It does have movement. You can move it around, and it looks pretty cool. It's pretty nice, and you really hide this top part with the wing, although you do kind of see it if you have the wings up, which is kind of unfortunate. He has scales on all the sides, and on the other side, you can see, just like with the leg, it is just a mirror image, basically, and you can lift it up, see the leg underneath the scales, and we can move on to the neck. Now, the neck is built in a way that doesn't allow it to bend very much. You do get this very good angle here with that, but it can only bend at the bottom and only slightly up and down, and you can bend it at the actual joint that meets the neck to the head. But it's a pretty nice neck build. It has more of those little spikes going up the back, and it looks pretty good. I quite like it. A lot of uses of these Nexonite shields in this set, in this nice green color, and they look really good as scales. At the head, you actually get a pretty nice head with a gold bar piece going through the two eyes to give it that like eye pupil look thing. And yeah, he has a openable mouth. You can open the jaw, and you can see he has some little teeth here and a tongue in the back. And then he also has these really cool horns, which are a bit down right now, but they look really good from most angles. I think they're pretty cool. They're different from the rest of the horns that LEGO usually does for dragons. They're usually just these small pieces in the back. but it's nice to get an actual very cool horn design. And it also uses some of these pieces, which are just hinge, to give that eyebrow look, and that looks really good. Side accessories to come with the dragon: a simple chest. I believe there is something in here. Yes, 2 gems, which are very cool. You'll see those later at the sea monster's eye, which we're going to be looking at actually in a couple seconds. But this is a very cool little gold pile. Very simple, but it's pretty nice. I'm going to be giving my opinion on each build as we go, and my opinion on this one is it's really good. I think the build looks great. The movability is pretty good. The only thing I will say is that obviously the black of the joints and more seriously the light and dark gray of these joints do kind of detract from the look, but I think overall it is a very, very nice looking dragon, and maybe the best that LEGO has put in a official LEGO set. Very nice. The second build you can do with this set is this sea monster / Loch Ness monster looking thing. It is pretty cool, and it's pretty fun to build. It has a very nice tail, and going down, you can see it has some very nice scale detailings, and I think it looks pretty good. Although, it is very, very immovable. You can't move it much at all. The only parts you can move is this tail and the head, as well as the mouth. That's literally it, besides the fins as well. But it doesn't have as much movement as the dragon did. It can't move all its body parts. Obviously, it's supposed to be like it's on top of the water as well. But it's pretty cool. It has some nice angled pieces using just clips and bars and all that. And then you can see the fins there are also pretty cool. They can move, as I said. They're on those rougher joints, but they can move. And this guy uses the diamonds for his eyes, or the gemstones, that is. And he has a very cool looking head in the back. I just moved that off center, but I think that looks pretty cool. I quite like that look. And if you look in the front, he actually has a very nice mouth as well, with a little thing coming off of it, which is pretty cool. And it's very similar to the other mouth. My camera does not like getting the colors right. You can kind of see it better there. And on the other side, you can see it's much of the same detailing. It's actually very double-sided, so you can display it either way. It's just the tail that suffers from not having the right pieces to kind of make it double-sided, which is unfortunate, but that's how that is, so you probably want to display it this way around. But it still looks pretty good. Use those teeth pieces for the back, and that's pretty much it. And I'd give this one not as good as the dragon. I definitely don't think it's as good as the dragon, but for a display piece, I think it is probably on par with it. I think it's a very nice little display piece. And although my camera doesn't like focusing on this color, which is red, this is not orange, it's red, I think it looks pretty good as well. I think the whole Loch Ness Monster look is pretty good for this. Anyway, I'm going to get to disassembling this, and I shall see you tomorrow, where I will, well, I guess in the same video, but for tomorrow for me, do the final build for this, and my final opinions, of course. The final build we have is this very cool Phoenix, and I think it's a very nice build. You can see it better on the instructions there. It has a little stand, which is pretty cool as well, that it can sit on. It doesn't actually clip in, so it is loosely on there, but these just go up through the feet, which I can actually show you quickly, just those holes. And it's a pretty cool looking build. I think it has some pretty cool features, so let's get into it. The body is the main part you build, and it connects everything, obviously. It doesn't use a smoother look like the other creatures did. It actually has a more ruffled look for the feathers, which I think is a pretty cool detail. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. The neck joint doesn't move too much, but you can move it up and down, which is good. And then this actual head can move quite a bit. And it's a pretty nice little head as well. I think it's cool, has some cool techniques. Using a rocket engine piece for the nose there. Very cool. And yeah, the wings, that's what you'll mainly see, are very nicely built. They use those big pieces there very well as some gold as accents, and I think those look really cool. They can, of course, be moved out like the dragons, so maybe you have a more wide wing, or you want it to be more closed up. Either way, very cool. And then the tail, also pretty cool with some gold accents. You'll see gold accents throughout, and just some more feather looks to make it look like an actual bird. It does have some very big feet, which you can actually use to display it quite well, even without the the stand, but I think these are more supposed to be in like that. But either way, it's a very cool looking animal or bird. Animal bird. A bird is an animal. What am I talking about? A very cool bird. Very cool mythical bird, even. The phoenix. So let's show him on the stand. And he looks quite grand up there, especially with his wings fully splayed out like that. It looks very cool. I quite like how this looks, and I think I'm probably going to be displaying it like this. My opinion on this build is that I think it's actually my second favorite, with the dragon being my first, the water monster thingy being my third favorite, and this being my second. Very nice, if I can speak. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed. I quite liked building this, and I quite liked building all three of these. I thought they were very cool. Also, the contents, this isn't obviously the full contents. I still have the Phoenix built. I just knocked him over, and as you can see, he does come out of that stand very easily. But, oops. The contents fit in a small Ziploc bag, or great value bag. A Ziploc bag like this. So, kind of cool. I mean, there's 715 pieces. You can tell there's a lot of small ones in this set to give a lot of detail. But yeah, 3 instruction manuals, and these are the extra pieces if you're wondering. I just thought I might as well show them. But yeah, you get an extra eye in there as well, and the gemstone piece. Very cool. I really like this set, as I said, and I think it's probably the best dragon build LEGO has done in an official set. Maybe there's some Ninjago ones that are better, but I really like this. For a brick-built dragon, I think it's really, really good. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time, where we'll be looking at something else. I don't know what, but something, hopefully. I shall see you then, and goodbye. Look at that bird.